remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. They said they missed the old Yume, boy don't test me. I'm back again with story theory in the Chunin exams. Since the last video, I've improved as a writer and refined my story theory. In this video series, I'll be covering the other pillars of story and a few extra things that make this arc stand out. In my video, What Makes a Good Character, I explain the main factors in a good character, our personality, background, goal, arc, and actions. I will be analyzing these factors for the relevant characters in the Chunin exams, along with what their role in the greater story is. Poeticism is also a phenomenal trait in stories, especially plots, so I'll be pointing out things like foils and mirrors. I also have a video on that too. I'm not going to analyze Naruto because I feel like there'd be too much due to the amount of screen time he has, but he's great too. He serves as a static character who inspires those around him to change with his confidence and empathy. Since this isn't Sasuke's first appearance, I'll be going over the additions to his character. In this arc, Sasuke shows off great camaraderie with Team 7. He comes back for them to stop Kankuro in chapter 35. In 36, he realizes Sakura's feeling down and cheers her up. In 38, he shows team spirit. 41 shows him hoping that Naruto recognizes the exam's gimmick. In 55, he is livid when he sees Sakura's injured state and vows to beat up whoever did it. He only stops his revenge against Team Dozu after Sakura begs him to in 56. In 56, during battle, he saves his team. In 96, a flashback shows Sasuke asking Sakura not to tell Naruto about the mark because he didn't want him worrying. He caught a flying Naruto in 133. He planned to sacrifice himself so his team could get away in the same chapter. He called them precious comrades. And finally, he caught Sakura in 138 when she was falling. His role in this arc, at least up until the end of the forest, is being the team leader. He also serves as a rival for Naruto throughout. They inspire each other. When Sasuke copied Lee in his match, Naruto copied Sasuke in his match. They also both say they want to fight each other in chapter 110. Sasuke has two character arcs. Starting in 47, Sasuke begins a small arc where he fears what he can't be and decides to give up to survive. He gives Orochimaru the scroll in 48, but Naruto knocks some sense into him and calls him out for his cowardice, mirroring the first arc. After Sakura's speech and his own monologue in 49, he regains his courage. He even says killing Itachi isn't the most important thing. This ties back to background. In 49, we see a little of Itachi for the first time. He told him to cling to life without honor, which explains Sasuke's mentality in the forest. In 56, he goes through another small arc, thanks to Orochimaru. This is the first time he calls himself an Avenger. He says he'll do anything to gain power, even if it means giving his body to a devil. This change is reinforced in 66, when he prioritizes testing his strength over his health or ranking up. In this story arc, Sakura recognizes her weakness in 34, showing self-awareness. She regains her confidence in 36. Her intelligence is highlighted during the exam in 41. Sakura almost quits for Naruto in 43, showing her compassion and empathy. In 71, Sakura and Ino argue about Sasuke, but Kakashi points out that Sakura is just riling Ino up so that she doesn't go easy on her. She has a whole monologue about how she hangs on to how she helped her and how she wants to be just like Ino and wanting to give everything in their fight. She wants to surpass her. In the past, she returned Ino's headband and said that she wouldn't wear it on her forehead until she became Ino's equal. Ino makes the same promise, and in their fight, they both wear their headbands on their foreheads. This is brilliantly mirrored in the Sasuke recovery arc when Sasuke wears his headband once he sees Naruto as an equal. Ino even returns Sakura's headband when they wake up in 73, just like Naruto did Sasuke. Sakura bought flowers for Sasuke and Lee in 93, showing her consideration. Finally, she defends Sasuke from Gara in 129, re-establishing the growth she had from her character arc. Speaking of her arc, Sakura thinks she's a burden, which is explicitly stated in 53, despite her protecting the team before Lee arrived. In 53, she has her monologue before she changes. She cuts off her hair, and at 54, she sacrifices her body to protect her team even more, proving that she isn't a burden, and she can be useful to the team. For her background, Sakura's past with Ino is shown in 54. She has a more detailed flashback with Ino in 71. It shows how the two met and how Sakura gained her confidence and rivalry with Ino. Sakura's role in this arc is being the emotional, physical, and metaphorical caretaker. I go over this in more detail in my Sakura retrospective. She's always looking out for others, and she literally nurses her team back to health in the forest. Kakashi's role at the start of this arc is to push his students past their limits. Early in the story, he puts them in the exams. Iruka doesn't think they're ready, but he does. This conflict is settled in chapter 64, when Iruka sees how much Naruto has grown and accepts that he's a ninja. Lee's personality traits are shown off well in this arc. Chapter 38 shows his perseverance and hints at how hard he trains. 51 shows his kindness when he saves Sakura. In 67, he wished Sasuke good luck. He caught Tenten in 74. He explained the Hyuga's team to Team 7 in 78. In 86, he stood back up even though unconscious, hammering home his perseverance. Finally, he was happy when Naruto won against Neji, despite Neji being his teammate. For his background, 52 shows Lee training for Front Lotus, and his full background is in 84. This shows off his character arc. He had an arc in the past, which was learning to believe in his hard work. He started off believing that he could never beat Neji, and that he wasn't getting stronger, but Guy helped him change. Now, he has no fear going against Gara, and even believing that he can win. So his background shows how he developed part of his personality. For Shikamaru, his team's cowardice is shown in chapter 51 when they run from Neji. He also runs from Sasuke in 56. In 74, he showed his laziness and intelligence against Kin. He checked up on Choji and Naruto in 95, which shows a kind side. 106 has his laziness reinforced in his Temari fight. He's very intelligent throughout the fight, but lazy when he quits in 108. His leader narrative chain was set up in 109. He pretends to sleep in 117, furthering his laziness, but he does have an arc. As I said, he's cowardly and lazy, but after avoiding responsibility the whole arc, in 118 he chooses to sacrifice himself as the decoy, pushing himself closer to that leadership role. For Ino's personality, she's cowardly like her team. In 51, her team tries to hide from Neji, then she tries to use sex appeal to avoid fighting Neji, and then they immediately run when he tells them to. In 52, she wants to pick off the weak to pass the forest. She's also very catty with Sakura, where her relationship with her is like fighting siblings, similar to Naruto and Sasuke, but more amicable. They argue most of the time, but at the core, they are friends who motivate each other and are willing to sacrifice their lives for one another. This connects to her character arc. When Ino saw her friend getting pummeled in 54, she sacrificed her team's cover to step in, despite just recently being established as cowardly. In fact, there are probably more examples of the two being friendly than Naruto and Sasuke. She's very supportive of Shikamaru in 108 when he's fighting Temari, showing her kindness. She also buys flowers for Sasuke and Lee, like Sakura. Her role in the story arc is to be a rival and foil for Sakura. The two motivate each other to grow. Ino raised Sakura in the past, and Sakura raised Ino in the forest. For Hinata's personality, in 41 and 42, she's kind enough to let Naruto cheat off of her. She also internally defends Naruto from Kiba's insults in 76. Hinata also has an arc. At the start of her Neji fight, the latter points out her lack of confidence, but thanks to Naruto, she's able to gain the confidence to face Neji. Kurenai even has a monologue in 80 about how she's never seen Hinata like this before. In 98, Hinata returns the favor by giving Naruto the courage to fight Neji. Poetic symmetry. Neji's personality is generally rude, but he showed camaraderie for Lee in 55. He was angry at Hinata for even being happy in 77, which shows his mean side again. He symbolically saw through Hinata in 78 and verbally ripped her apart. In 81, he's smiling and talking smack as Hinata's coughing blood, right after trying to kill her in their fight, so much so that he needed to be stopped by Jonin. He gives his fatalistic philosophy in 100. His tragic backstory is revealed in 102 and explains why he has his philosophy in the present and why he dislikes Hinata so much. His character arc is that before, he believed that fate was unchangeable, but in 105, after Naruto's speech and his uncle's reveal, he no longer believed that fates were sealed. For poeticism, Neji is a complete foil for Naruto. Naruto is dumb, untalented, and no one expects anything of him. Neji is a genius, talented, and everyone hypes him up. Their beliefs/philosophies are also opposites. Gaara's personality is that he's a psycho. He threatens to kill his own brother in his first appearance. The savageness of Gara is shown more in 58. Even his siblings fear him in 59. He says he doesn't see them as siblings. He's arrogant, shown by his lack of reaction to Sasuke's win. In 96, he tries to kill Lee for no reason. He shows true psychopathy in 97 when he says he exists to kill. He's also somewhat nihilistic when he questions the purpose of his existence. He could have killed his siblings in 110 and later killed 2 random people. Finally, he slapped Temari in 125 for no reason. For background, there's a brief glimpse when Guy saves Lee in 86. In 97, we learn a little about his past. In 129, we saw it all and it explains why he's so crazy in the present. His Iruka figure betrayed him. His character arc is that after Naruto empathizes with him, Gara apologizes to his siblings in 138, showing that he learned that his whole killing and loneliness road was wrong. His role in this arc is to be the big bad that the kids have to get to the level of. Orochimaru would be too strong for them, so they are given an opponent that is closer to their level and can be reached within the span of an arc. Meanwhile, Hiruzen fights Orochimaru. Gara is also a partial foil for Naruto. Both have tailed beasts in them that cause them to be isolated. Both were on the path of loneliness and hatred, but Naruto had Iruka, meanwhile Gaara's Iruka figure betrayed him. He's Naruto if there was no Iruka. I won't go over Kiba's personality because I didn't see anything noteworthy, but I did see a minor arc. He started off hating on Naruto, openly mocking him in their fight in 76, but in 99, he's supporting him and believes that he can beat Neji. For Shino, I think his personality is interesting. He's usually quiet, but he has some layers. He's confident and likes fighting. In 124, he cares about Sasuke finishing his fight against Gara and starting his arranged match against Kankuro because Kankuro forfeited. In 125, he says he'll beat Kankuro in 10 minutes. I'm splitting this series into smaller pieces because there are several sections to the full essay, and I don't think my audience has the attention span for that. In conclusion, a lot of the major characters have layered, fleshed out personalities, backgrounds that explain their personality, character arcs that make sense, and strong roles in the story. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.